WSMN, its owners and/or associates.
Lisa and Robyn are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robyn on the mic.
Welcome to another episode of Lisa and Robyn on the mic. You are listening on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live. Everywhere you find your favorite podcasts. We are live in the studio with Robyn today. What do you need, a napkin? Did it explode? Yes. So my day started out with me realizing my dress was on backwards. And Robyn is realizing that don't shake the Dr. Pepper before you drink it.
I know, it's still early. Still a little early for my cocktail. I can't hear me.
You can't hear you?
I can't hardly hear you either. Can you hear me?
Very loud and clear.
Breaker 19. I guess I'm here. Oh, yeah, there it is. Mr. Robert Duck. Well, yeah, so this morning I put this on and I realized I had deodorant on it, and this was all cattywampus, and it was all twisted around the back so I could barely breathe. It's like a
tourniquet,
like a noose. And I tried to get it off, and I'm like, man, it's like a tube sock. I could literally jumping to get it up over my boobs.
So we love the bodycon because it holds things in, but it's like wrestling an alligator to get in and out of it.
It is.
I definitely feel that way. So we have some fun things coming up. Last year, we what did we do with Wags and Whiskers? So the Greater Nashua Humane Society.
I just saw the show for that, the flag for that sign, whatever that is.
So they have an annual event. It's held at Anheuser-Busch, where everyone goes to support them. You bring your pet, the pet that can interact with other pets, and, don't bring your peacock if your peacock is going to attack the dogs. But, your pets are welcome. It's a pet-friendly environment.
Don't bring your chickens.
And all I thought was like Kramer with little Yeti Seinfeld, but he's direct in the wrong direction.
Yes.
So last year we decided we were going to put it on the television channel because we thought, the radio show doesn't do dogs justice, right? You need to see dogs.
Right.
And it's National Dog Week this week, so everyone love a dog. I love Jedi. Jedi, I love you.
Oh, yes. I'll have to adopt him, too, because I don't know anybody else's dog.
Yeah, and he would love you. I mean, he came in the studio, barked at us
yes.
for 2 hours straight. That was great.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah, that was a very bad decision. That wasn't even my idea. But that's when you're like, you shouldn't listen to what other people say. But back to Wags and Whiskers. Last year, it was a rain out. So they're holding it a week early, 9/6 at Anheuser-Busch. Bring your dogs, bring some cash.
Yeah, that's next weekend.
If you don't have a dog and you need a dog, this is the perfect time to get a dog. They actually bring animals from other shelters, some kill shelters. They bring them all up. Last year we had 16 puppies to get rid of. And I had several people say to me during the day, "What do you do for a living?" I'm like, "I'm a salesperson." And they're like, "Yeah, you're pushing these dogs hard." And I'm like, "Because I will take a dog home."
I think all of them sold, didn't they?
They did. All of them got adopted. Almost 2 by us. But we were like, we got to get rid of these dogs. So we did some hard selling these dogs and these beautiful dogs. So I'm hoping that all the dogs that were adopted last year come this year.
That was so sweet.
And, they could...
Are we going to host it again? Or
we didn't make plans to. It's the 6th.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that? Monday?
I think it's next Saturday, right?
Is it next Saturday?
I don't think they would hold it on the week.
The 6th is Saturday. I don't know. We should talk to George. If he wants to put it on the TV channel again, because it's not fun to do on the radio.
Right.
It's fun to do in person.
You just need to be there, see it.
You need to be there and see it. So we welcome you to come. Maybe we'll be there.
Yes.
Maybe.
We'll let you know next Thursday.
Well, we'll commit because we have to talk to people and make arrangements. We can start the party, but We don't know if anyone's going to party
I
with us.
want to be mobile. I want to be able to have the camera to move around with us so you're not stationary.
I know.
I want to go check out, like, ideally, I would love to go and visit each booth and, see what each person is selling, what they're doing, who they are.
Because we were stationary last year, and then I had to go get the people to come to us.
Yes.
And I did say, do you want your dog to be interviewed for television? Which the response was always yes.
Yes. Of course. Of course I want my dog on TV.
So how to ask better questions to get the response you want is ask a question that the question will be yes.
Yes.
Do you want your dog to be on television? Yes.
Then come on down.
Then come on down. And we did. We had some great dogs.
Yeah, I think we had a good turnout, too. We met some cool people.
And it was driving rain. Like, we'll find some pictures from last year. It's not going to rain this year.
Everything was soking wet.
Yeah.
We were soaked.
And we still had fun.
Yeah,
and we still pushed 16.
And the boys stood there in the rain for
the amount of time to be supportive.
Yes. Yeah.
Good job, everyone.
That was good.
So this year's going to be so much better because it's not going to rain.
Yes.
We've had beautiful weather, except for yesterday. We had a couple of showers, but it's not going to rain next week. They pulled it in a week. So
actually, we didn't have any yesterday. I heard a big.
Oh, it poured all day.
We were coming back from
at my house.
We were coming back from our bike ride, and you could see the sky getting a little bit dark, kind of towards the Bedford area. And I was like, ooh. As soon as I came in, I started the vacuum cleaner in the pool and started cleaning it up because now all the leaves are blowing. And we have this tree that has literally been dropping flowers for
6 months.
It feels like it. We bought a handheld leaf blower just to get rid of it because you walk away, and I hate tracking them in these little flower petals all over the house in dark floors. You just irritating, especially when you got your Roomba.
Yeah, you can't handle that.
only going 3 days a week in there, and I'm like,
okay. So let me actually do a proper shout out to the Humane Society of Greater Nashua, where I got my kitty Teddy. The Wags Two Whiskers Festival is hosted every year. This is their dog-friendly event for fun for all ages, vendors, food trucks, canine demos, raffles, and more. Looking to add a furry friend to your family? Of course, they have puppies for rent, for adoption. What do we call that now? So stop by and meet their adoptable puppies. The tickets are available for purchase at the front entrance the day of the event. General admission is $15. Seniors 65 are $10. Kids 12 and under are free. Group tickets, 4 tickets are $45 through online purchase through the 7th. So again, the date is September 6th, 11 a.m. to 3 at Anheuser-Busch at 221 Daniel Webster Highway in Merrimack. You can go to their website for more information. You can scroll back through our history to see all of the dogs we were peddling last year.
And can you see, do they have a list of the puppies that are available this year?
Not yet.
Yeah, but might be a little bit early.
You've got to meet the puppies.
Yeah.
You've got to hold the puppies.
You got to feel their personality. You got to see their personality.
There was one dog, I'll post this one again in the stories, that was hugging you.
Oh.
Remember that one?
Yes.
And so I saw Rob's going to go home with a dog, and Chris is going to be mad that I set up this event. So I thought, I got to get rid of this dog. But we got Gabe to adopt that dog.
Yes.
Because we said, Gabe, are you looking? And he said, we lost our puppy. We're not quite ready. I go, oh, okay. Just come over here for a second. And the dog just started hugging him.
Yes.
And it was like, all right, he's
like,
Gabe's going home with this dog.
That dog picked him for sure.
Well, it was picking you.
Yes.
To see this dog hug was just the sweetest thing. So yeah, come and find a furry friend. Bring your furry friend. They do, they have the bunny going around the track that the dogs chase. They do so many fun activities for the animals.
If it hadn't been raining, there would have been so much to do.
And this year, like I said, it's not
the food trucks were kind of all tucked back in the corner, and I think they had music, live music last year, but I don't know if they actually started, or they might have started, but they didn't continue.
Yeah.
But some of the booths, I thought it was great. Like, we actually had a pretty big turnout.
And we had a great day considering that it wasn't a outdoor weather-friendly event.
Right.
We did. We had a really good time.
Yeah, I think so.
And we got to hold dogs
Yes.
and not take them home, which is the best part of them. Not have an 18-year commitment or an 11-year commitment.
About babysitting, you always give them back.
Great thing about being an aunt is I love these kids. You take them back now. They got to go home with you.
Going to overstimulate them and get them really tired, and then they're
Give them sugar.
Oh, I think it's their bedtime.
You take those. And then I wanted to talk about next week, we're going to have one of my clients who used to be the lead singer of a rock band. So we have a surprise. Next week, you have that. That'll be really, really fun. Because he's been my client for a couple of years, and I recently found out he's got a great phone voice.
Yeah.
But he's also does a lot of work, in finance and stuff. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's just really narrowed down to have that really great calming phone voice. And then he said something, oh, I used to be in a band. I'm like, get out.
What?
And then he played the song. This is the song everyone knows. I'm like, get out. That was you. That's awesome. So in his young days. So he's going to come and talk about that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That'll be so much fun.
Yes.
And then Freedom Boat Club, I'm excited to report.
Ooh.
So joined Freedom Boat Club this year in Laconia. That is the basically concierge rental service for boating, where you don't have to do the maintenance, you don't have to store it, you don't have to gas it up. You just show up, enjoy
Get on the boat.
go have a great time, drop it off. So it is all the fun of boat ownership with none of the responsibility of boat
And
ownership.
you have your choices of different boats,
Yep,
too.
you have several different boats. You can have a deck boat, you can have a pontoon boat. So we have been enjoying that to our exhaustion. Up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays to go out on the boat. We've been having so much fun. And going to Florida this fall, and I get four reciprocal visits per location in Florida.
That's awesome.
So even though we're coming to in the next month or two, we'll come to a close for the boating season. Up in even Laconia, that you can take the boats out through October. So we'll do a leaf peeping tour.
Oh, that'll
on
be
the lake.
beautiful.
How beautiful will that be? So you
That'll
can
be
enjoy
beautiful.
a boat as long as there's not ice on the water.
That's right.
That's my theory. We can putt around with jackets and layers and scarves and hats.
Yes.
Just to be out in the water.
Heated blankets.
Yes. You do golf that way. You can
Yes.
certainly do a boat that way.
Yes.
You're just not going in the water.
Yes.
You're just not going in the water. And then we have an exciting announcement that Robyn went around the sun one more time.
Oh, boy. Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Soon. Soon.
Tomorrow.
What are your plans for the next year on the planet for yourself?
Actually, don't know.
You don't get reflective on your birthday?
No.
New Year? Do you get reflective in the new year?
Yeah. But I don't really think about. Like what do I want as far as my age.
You don't think
leveling
like
up.
I have to tack some things off here. You don't have any like running list. Wow, my mind is so busy.
No.
What are you thinking about, Robyn? Nothing.
Joy. How can I play?
But that's every day.
No. So I do. I want to get in better shape. I want to get back.
And what
to,
does that consist of?
I would
You're in
like.
good shape now.
Well, I still want to be. I still want a 30-year-old body. I don't. I still want a 30-year-old body. So I want to make an
Lift
intention
weights.
with my health.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. I want to exercise. I feel like we just got out of the habit, the routine of it. And the last couple of days, like rollerblading with you, riding bikes. Chris is like, we're going to get back in the gym. And I am much more of like an outdoor workout kind of a person than I am.
And you don't even
indoor
want it to
and-
be a workout.
Right. Right.
You want it to be like, we're doing this. It's not a workout. Don't get your watch. Don't start clicking your watch, Lisa. Seeing how many miles per hour we're going, or do not bring that.
Well, see,
bad
I
juju
was a
in here.
Fitbit Nazi. I was a Fitbit Nazi
Oh,
for a
and-
long time.
So did you realize like I don't need the Fitbit anymore? It's not good for me.
Well, my sister did it. She got a Fitbit years ago, like when they first came out. She got them, and she was on this weight loss. She lost over 100 pounds.
Good for her.
And she started, logging all this stuff in. And she's like, oh, my God, you've got to get this thing. And I'm like, no. Chris is like, do not get her that. Well, we were down in Virginia at Christmas, Thanksgiving. They had a Black Friday sale. And she's like, I'm getting it. So she got it. And Chris is like, you do not know what you're doing. So, of course, now I know, I can walk a mile in 12 minutes. Now I'm like, all right, I can beat that.
Yeah.
And so I was always constantly checking my steps. So I'm like, I'm consistently doing 10,000 steps before noon. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So I was just working myself into a frenzy of like always in competition with myself. So then they have this, you can add a friend. It's Work Week Hustle or whatever they had. So she got me on with a bunch of her, like the people at her work. And so there's this group of like 15 people and I'm always winning. Always. And she's like, can't you just let me win once? And she's, her job is very different. And I had a lot more freedom. I was done at noon. So I had the rest of the day to like move around and stuff. So she had a hard time getting 10,000 steps in. And I'm always at like, 15, 20,000 steps, by the end of the day. And she was texting me. It's like 11:30 at night. And she's like, I did it. And she had like 15,000 steps or something. And I was like, I'm going to let her win. This is like the last day. I'm going to let her win. She's never won. I'm going to let her win. Like, I'm going to do this. No.
Robyn's like, I'm not going to let her win.
Chris comes around the bathroom, and it's 11:30, and I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm jumping up and down, running in place, and he's like, "What? You're going to go to hell."
In a handbasket on a bicycle.
He's like, what
driven
are you
by
doing?
A witch. Driven by a goblin.
He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's only like 430 some steps. He's like, I thought you talked about for 2 days you were going to let her win. I'm like, well.
That was yesterday's Robyn. That's not today's Robyn.
He's like, take that thing off.
Give it away.
You're going to lose friends over that. You're going to lose family members over your Fitbit. But every time, and then I would say, like, every time we would do something, and I would say to the kids, oh, my God, guess how many steps we just did?
Yeah, and everyone's like, so that's how I feel about this Stello monitor. I've been wearing the blood sugar monitor, and for the first so many months, it was just purely educational.
Yeah.
Like, I can't eat oatmeal. Something that I thought was so healthy that I ate every morning. Wow, it really spikes my blood sugar the same way as drinking a can of Coke. You wouldn't think that would happen, right? So I just learned so many things. And maybe considering how skinny I was in my 30s and up into my early 40s, obviously oatmeal didn't matter then because I was eating oatmeal then too and I was skinny. So something distinctly wrong, fundamentally wrong happened with my body that all of a sudden oatmeal's like taxing it.
We're done with that. We're done with that.
Is that something that's delicious and good for you? We're not having that.
Yeah. No.
No. You like that? No, you can't eat it anymore. No.
I only like oatmeal on occasion.
So I make really good oatmeal. Like everything I make is really good. So it's so that's part of the problem. If it's not good, I'm going to make it good.
I like when you put sugar in it, or like you put sugar on the top, so it almost is still like a little bit of
crunch.
Just a tiny little bit of crunch, but I also like putting the milk in it, and so it's not quite thin, but it has that creamy, not watery texture, but every once in a while you kind of get that soupy, but yet chewy kind of a...
Yes, I like mine a little chewy.
Yeah.
So what I do is I boil the water, because I boiling water for tea, and I add boiled water to it, and then I go 6 minutes, and then let it sit. Then I add milk, warm it up a little bit more, add maple syrup, add a tad bit of cinnamon and blueberries, and melt the cook the blueberries for 1 minute just so they're starting to warm and break, but they're really still whole, and it's like blueberry oatmeal cookies versus
I do like blueberries in there. I actually like strawberries in it too. Peaches, I like peaches in my oatmeal, and I also like apples. I won't even cook the apples. I just kind of dice them up. I will sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on it. See, I'm not a big maple syrup fan.
Well, this is just the tiniest bit that's like the hint of maple syrup versus maple syrupy. And I use real maple syrup.
Yeah.
Not sugar that they call maple syrup.
In Jemima.
Yeah. So, but I'm done with my Stello because the data is now becoming like your Fitbit.
Yeah.
Where every 5 seconds I'm looking.
Yeah.
Or I see it starting to rise and I run down and go on my rower for 20 minutes, like gaming.
Yeah.
And then the answer is, well, you don't need the monitor. You just need to move for 10 minutes after a meal.
Yeah.
And that's the answer. That's what I've been doing to
and
kind
you've
of
learned
like
by now, like what foods to stay away from, what foods to avoid. And
yeah. And so I've gotten so much better. So I'm actually not doing any more Stellos. So you would know I will no longer have a tan mark of a glucose monitor. But you know how many people have tried this? Because I was telling, I was basically a walking advertisement for it. Because I love education. Anytime you can
you
learn
should get an
something.
affiliate link.
I should get an affiliate link. So, but I am going to get rid of that because of the data. The same thing.
Yeah.
And I stopped wearing my workout watch for a while because I bought the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And every time I went to yoga, it kept beeping, "Are you still working out?" And I'm like, dude, I'm dying. I'm in a pretzel upside down in a 104 room. What do you mean, am I still working out? Of course I'm working out. And then it's beeping, so the calm of the yoga studio is
Pattern
hearing
interrupts.
mine. And then I'm trying to shut it off, and I don't have my glasses, and I can't quite read what's going on. What a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
So I had put it in the box. So I think I'm going to get rid of I just bought it. It's brand new.
Sell it.
I should sell it.
Just wipe it and sell it.
Yeah.
I think didn't somebody just say that there's a
Aftermarket. Lisa was telling us
thing,
that there's a second market
thing
for
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
So
So, all right. So you want to get healthier. What else? You want to have more fun with me?
I want to do. Yes, I want to travel more. I definitely want to travel more.
My book tour is looking like.
Yes. We need to do a European book tour.
What do you think I'm working on? I got to get it published. I got to get 6,000 in the United States. Then I can get a publisher to translate.
There you go.
I've got a map.
Chat GPT would probably do it right now for you. Can you just translate this into Russian, Italian, French?
Well, the metric system is the problem.
Greek.
That's the problem. It's the metric system. I want Australia. I
AI
want the
should
UK.
be so smart. They should be able to figure that out.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see. Do that.
I'm so trustworthy. I'm so
I wanna have
trustworthy. I'm
more
so
adventures.
anti-trustworthy of it.
I want to
Yeah.
have more adventures.
More adventures. Yeah.
And I also want my kitchen done this year. So big stuff. Other than that, but as far as health, I want to go back to keeping my vibration high and being in, having adventures and taking care of my body better. That's what I want.
So I think it's interesting because I remember,
And I want to make a lot of money.
yes,
But those are
because I have to pay for travel.
Yes.
I have to pay for all this gym lifestyle.
bathing
and
suits, outfits, shoes.
Yeah, I need money. Let the money flow in.
Yes.
When I was 35, everyone kept saying, "Oh, how old are you going to be 35?" Oh, it's like you went off the precipice
Yeah.
of ugly. You all of a sudden someone's going to come and beat you with an ugly stick at 35. You're going to be all malinformed. Your nose was going to be
You're no longer in the attractive club. You've hit middle age or something.
at 35.
I always liked 32. I loved the number for 32. Like, if I'm going to be stuck at some number, it would be 32.
Well, 35, I'm like, what? I have not been worshiping myself. It's going to get worse than this. So I start rubbing myself with moisturizer. Oh, my God. I'm going to go off a cliff of ugliness.
I know. Chris walks in, and I am covered in coffee grounds because I was going to do an exfoliating. It's supposed to help with cellulite, and it's supposed to be good for your skin. And I literally, like a dirty little monkey, and I just covered my face and everything. It is in crevices. It's
a testament to how brainwashed women are that they're not
the things
enough
that you'll do for beauty.
because you never see a man with coffee grounds on his eye bags. You never see a man rolling stuff over his legs for silly. You never see.
I literally had it in the creases of, everywhere.
Have you seen men at the beach with their gigantic belly and their chicken cutlet arms walking around?
And these skinny little legs in a, Speedo.
Pubic hair, gray pubic hair everywhere. And it's like no problem with self-confidence.
Poof master up here on the chest.
And there's women, beautiful, model women covering themselves in putting eggs
I
on all
know.
over. We
Oh
have
my
been
gosh.
brainwashed as
Yeah.
a species
Yeah.
to just think that And if you probably talk to like 50% of guys, they're like, if you're naked, I don't care what you actually look like. It's just that you're naked.
I know. I know.
I don't even think
They don't see the flaws the same way
because
we
I
do.
see a lot of, very unattractive people with children. So they got naked. They had sex. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you see, we went to Canopy Lake. And do you ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
What a great show.
Is
Great
it a TV
show.
show? A series?
A TV show.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
It's hilarious. So there's the McPoyle family, and the McPoyle family is just a group of inbreds that's always in bathrooms, right? And they couldn't be any more awful looking,
I gotta look this up.
right? And so I'm taking pictures in the parking lot, and John's going, they're going to hear the click. Don't take a picture of them. And I'm like, it's the McPoyle Circus Family Day at Canopy Lake,
Oh
right?
my God.
And they all found each other. They were all in love. They were all holding hands. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And so there's the mean part of me that's doing the like McPoyle reference, and then there's the part of me that's like,
But you don't mean it to be mean, because that's what I do.
At the
and
time,
and
I was texting it off to people.
yeah, because it's
I was
funny.
being a little bit
Like, it's
mean.
not that I don't really think that about you. It's just this is how I see you, and you're always looking for.
Well, I thought the caption. I really wanted the caption because all of our group is an Always Sunny group. We
Yeah, yeah.
quote that
Yeah.
show a lot. So it was more about the reference to the
Yes.
show than it
Yes.
was about the people.
Yes, and so I say something,
But I
off
was catty.
color,
Oh my goodness,
and
I
I'm
was
like, come
catty.
on, that is so funny, and he's like, that's so wrong. I'm like, but I don't mean it towards them.
Right.
It's from if I were stand-up comedian, like that would be some good content.
Yeah, that would be. I would keep that joke in. I would keep that joke in.
that one for sure.
It might not play in Ohio or someplace, or
Right.
it might not play in some cities, but I'm keeping that one in.
Right. Maybe not L.A.
Right. And the beautiful people. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, that would be funny.
Yeah, so I think it's so funny what women do to themselves, because we're just not attractive enough. And if you look
Yeah.
it's so silly.
It is.
And the older I get, the more I realize what a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. It
When
is
you-
a waste of time.
I had this worked with her. She was probably going to be 30 at the time, and she was saying something. I was mad. I was like, stop it. This is such a waste of time. I don't ever want to hear you say it again. Like, while we're in work, I never want to hear you say something.
Yeah.
Because it is such a waste of time. I feel like if everyone could see themselves through somebody else's eyes,
Yes.
instead of looking in the mirror like, I hate you.
Yes.
Yeah. Or look at that new wrinkle, or look at that new. Like,
Yes.
if we could just see ourselves through our best friend's eyes,
Yes.
all will be right with the world.
Because we forget that.
The beauty
We forget
industry,
that 'cause we
the
stack.
billion-dollar
Yeah.
industry would just plummet.
Yes.
How are we going to get our Ferraris if she
Right.
doesn't think she's ugly?
That's true.
How are we going to buy those yachts?
Right?
How are we going to buy a yacht?
My Ferragamos. And my Rolex.
She needs to think she's ugly.
But it's true that they do. We stack our flaws against what we see is beautiful in somebody else. And we compare what we don't like about ourselves. If we could just stop, we just need to love it. We need to love on ourselves more.
And we need to tell each other this. So
Yes.
this week, you know how we're always inviting you to do something you don't want to do, like be nice to people at the supermarket, not swear at people in
No
traffic.
throat punching.
The new thing we're going to ask you to do this week, which I almost think I might have lost my train of thought. Oh,
Love yourself.
love yourself. Take a compliment.
Yes.
If someone says something nice to you, it is a gift. Don't throw it back in their face like, no.
Yes.
No, and then
Yeah.
list off 25 reasons why their compliment's not valid. Don't do that. If someone compliments you, thank you
Receive it.
is the
Receive.
proper response to a
Yes.
compliment.
Yes.
We invite you.
I think people can sense your energy too, because I feel like I used to never speak to people or, literally.
I have so drawn Robyn out of her show.
Oh my gosh. So we're standing in the driveway yesterday or the day before. We were taking the trash cans out, and the JP Pest guy comes up, and Chris decides, so we're standing out there, and he's decided that he's going to trim these limbs off of this tree. And he's like, it's irritating me. I'm like, wait, you gonna do that right now? Like, we're in the middle of having a conversation. And he's like, I'm just gonna go get it. So he's off, going down to the shed to get the saw that has that big pole,
extension
pole saw thing. JP Best comes by, and Chris comes like, hey, brother, how are you? And they shake hands, and I'm like, do you know him? And he's like, no, but he does our lawn. So I'm like, oh. He's like, how are you guys today? And, beautiful day, blah, blah, blah. Well, I came to find out he's got 3 kids, 12, 15, and 20, and they have a campground that they have a site that they keep all year long. He's got a hot tub up there. They roll the TV out. They have a 70-inch TV that they put out there. And he's like, we've got all this little privacy stuff and hedges. And Chris is like, and I said, oh, did you know this guy? He did this, this, and this. And I'm like, he's got 3 kids. And he's like, of course you would.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Of course you know that.
I'm like, you left me standing here.
Right.
But it just happened. I told him that we were, because he had said, hey, you guys have got a beautiful yard. He's like, I love your pool area and what you guys have done with it. And I just said to him, oh, well, we just got a TV. Because he said something about the Red Sox. And I said, well, we've been enjoying watching the TV hanging out by the pool when the game is on. And he's like, yeah, we do that too. So that's how that whole conversation started. But, people at the grocery store, they just tell you stuff. I'm like, I think I should have been a therapist. I could have made a lot of money.
Yeah, but I always think of that when people tell me, because I took the train one day, and this woman sat next to me, and she was going to her cancer treatments. So we started talking about that, and her whole family didn't know because she didn't want them to worry about her. But she needed to tell somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think being that Jen Carey would call it the compassionate witness. Compassionate, supportive witness. We can all do that in some capacity for each other.
Yeah.
And the best thing about telling strangers is they have no expectation of you, no judgment of you. It doesn't matter what they think of you. Like this, I think that is actually a
freeing.
Cool, it's a very freeing thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
And I think the more time we just devolve into very shallow relationships because we're not spending a lot of time with people or we're not doing that kind of stuff, I think it's needed more and more and more.
How many, if you had to give a percentage, how many shallow marriages do you think that there are? More than just real shallow meaning like, you're not willing, you create a comfort zone, a complacent, instead of I'm really willing to dig in deep. Do you know what I mean? And tell you how I truly feel about, like, to be vulnerable. So maybe not superficial, maybe that's the wrong word, but how many relationships do you
think there's still some performance, you mean? Like they're not really being honest?
Yes. Because I think, like, we share news, or like, say when you,
like the woman not telling her family about cancer.
Right. Or when you tell your best friend something, like they get you. They hear you from your perspective. They're not attaching their feelings to it. So when you say something to your partner, your spouse, it's almost like they're taking it personally. And so whether you've said a trigger word to them, but now an argument ensues or division ensues, instead of being able to be really vulnerable and being like, I really want to hear this person. What are they trying to say? What's their message?
I think it's a constant struggle. Nate Bargatze, great comedian.
Yes.
He has a joke about the Sixth Sense. And it's an old movie, so you're not giving away any spoilers if you haven't seen it. See it now.
Yeah.
But the joke is, because in marriages we know about the silent treatment so much, it is such a common thing that we went to that movie and thought she wasn't talking to him for 2.5 hours over the fact that he was dead, and we saw him shot the first scene. We're still like, she's pissed at something. She's not talking to him.
Yes.
Right? So when I think of,
oh yes,
why do even people do the silent treatment? Right? They do it to punish you, right? Because when you pull away and you don't provide that, that's a punishment. But I'm sure some people don't think that their silent treatment is a punishment. I'm sure they think their silent treatment is protecting them in some capacity, right? I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying not to lose my mind on you so that you're crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying not to yell at you. Like, so I'm sure there's a million reasons why people don't communicate. And I also think a lot of people don't want to delve into why they are feeling the way they're feeling, because then they'll also have to be responsible for it.
Yes.
Part of the thing of why...
Avoidance.
Yeah. Why I think that, people... That almost like therapeutic piece, if I don't name it, I don't have to deal with it. Because there's no solution, because I don't even know what the problem is.
Yeah.
Right? So you can think about it. I mean, I was looking up some stuff for Sober October because in Massachusetts, a company just did a drug test on a new hire and they failed because there was weed in their system. And the person said, I don't understand. It's not illegal. Why would I not get this job?
Right.
Right. So there's all this new laws that are kind of coming around because I'm sure the insurance companies are saying, well, if he gets into a car accident with the work truck that he's driving, we can't tell if he was impaired or not. Where if we gave him a breathalyzer, we would know if he was drunk. Right. So there's this weird kind of thing going on. But my point on that is, we do a Sober October. We kind of talk about that every year. And this year, the stats are completely different. So many more people have stopped drinking, but weed use has gotten exponentially higher. And it's because there was a taboo against weed where alcohol was so socially accepted. It was like, if you're not drinking, what's wrong with you? Right? So now we're having these different conversations about different things, but you can be addicted to either substance. You can treat both substances with respect and enjoy them in your life as a, just another piece of your life, another facet of your life, or they can be addictive sources. They can be an addiction problem.
Yep.
Right? Or they could be an escapism problem. Like, you numb yourself out so you don't have to really think about something. You numb yourself out so you don't have to really feel something. I think when I think about bringing up my poor mom's drug addiction, but she was a very, very, very sensitive person. And I'm sure she was numbing herself out to not feel what she wanted to feel. Instead of just dealing with it.
But I think
it's
it's
so much
sometimes
harder
too
to deal
with like addiction and things like that for a dependency. I would say for a dependency. A lot of people would say they're not addicted to it, but I'll have a cocktail I have a cocktail every night, or I smoke a little weed every night, or I do this, and it's to, relax. I don't think they would ever say that they're addicted to it. But we do have a dependency upon it because it's like nobody wants to do the hard stuff. Not to say that they don't always, but it's like we're avoiding it because that's too much work.
Right.
And then the times that you're thinking about it, you're either at the end of the day or you're not thinking about it in the morning or when you have the energy to wake up and say, okay, how can I make today a better day for me? Or how can I make my day better for? How can I bring joy, or how can I heal that? Usually when we bump into one of our traumas or one of our wounds, think about it. We're either tired, we're hungry, we're angry. It's usually in an argument or it's something that's happened to you. We don't take it from a fresh perspective, from a fresh mindset of saying we're going to start off the day fresh. Instead, we're already in it. Now I feel it. And now you don't want to have the energy to address it.
So when you were saying like how many people are living in that thing, I think to be honest with another person, you have to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't ever be honest with somebody else if you're not honest with yourself. That's what I feel. So
I actually feel like the only lies we tell are to ourselves. Because if I have a drinking dependency, and I tell you I don't, but you see it. Me telling you that is my lie to myself. It's not my lie to you. You know what that looks like. Right. If I don't want to pick on drinking. I want to pick on something else, but
overeating.
Yeah, pick on overeating, right? I can say that I don't want to be fat, but if I'm eating cookies every single night with ice cream, I do want to be fat.
Yes.
I'm lying to myself.
Yes.
So I think,
or in displacing, when you think about like just people that are angry or people that always see the negative in something, and they 9 times out of 10 it's definitely taught me more compassion. Because when I realize when people are stomping around, or they are grouchy and they're rude to people, and they're curt and they're calling names, or they say something, they're just, that's inside of them. That's what they are feeling. And it does give me a sense of compassion. I mean, it does give me a little bit more compassion. But at the same time,
you don't have to tolerate it either, though.
It's pity.
Right.
It's almost like
I feel bad
you
for you.
spend so much time blaming everybody else. Man, you don't want to climb out of that hole. Because you're not looking for a way out.
Look at you, no flies on you.
Right. Right.
When you think about it, like, oh, Jesus came off the cross twice because here you are, Miss or Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
look at you, no flies on you. Lucky. There's only one other one.
Right.
And you.
It's true.
It's amazing.
But how many times do we blame other people for, our bad mood? No, you own your mood.
Right. Right.
People can enhance.
I think people misplace anger for one.
Yeah.
Right. I also think, so I decided whatever year it was that I was going to start running. And of course it was to fit in a dress, which I did fit into.
We all have different motivating factors.
We all have a different motivational factor to get into our healthy zone. And my thought process was like, wow, I dropped some weight. And for the first time, I didn't have to worry about what I put in my mouth. Right.
Yeah.
Because this was just, I was testing ice creams. I was teaching myself how to make ice cream. And so I was trying different flavors and trying different techniques. So there was ice cream at my house every single day, right? So I get into the dress and then I have the ice cream machine. So I'm like, I'm going to probably go 4 miles or 5 miles. But the first thing I did besides lose the weight, I was like, you know what? This was so hard. I'm going to keep it up and I'm going to do a race. Well, I did the race, and to be around a group of people it was a solitary sport, but you were around a group of people, you have some endorphins because they kick in because your body's in pain. Right? So if we forget that our body's response to pain is endorphins.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you put your body through some pain and you get the benefit of, let me give you a cascade of neurochemicals to wipe this pain from you. Right?
Yes.
So you'll do it again tomorrow. But I started to go to more and more events. I started to do more and more races. And one of them, I forget the name of it, but they were into like, this is going to be the hardest one. So instead of running at 6 o'clock in the morning, a lot of races start at 6 o'clock in the morning. This was going to be at noon in the dead sun, all that stuff. But what they did was they had a party starting at 5 o'clock. They had live DJs.
Oh, that's cool.
And the race ended at a hotel, and just in the hotel space, you just went in like a sweaty disaster because there was music.
Yeah.
And you ended up staying all night, continuing to be a sweaty disaster. And it was so much fun. And it was like, was it so much fun? Or was just I high on endorphins? Because if you ask me sitting here in my pretty dress with my jewelry and my nails done, if I want to go to a party, sweaty. In my workout
That's
clothes.
probably endorphins. But it's also to the endorphins of like success that you've
finished something.
You finished something, but you also that physical exhaustion that you've used your body. You have used your body and you have.
So my point on bringing all of that up is, if you are not doing things to mitigate and give you some kind of mental clarity, it's going to be really. So when you doing. For me, backdooring into stuff was through my body.
Yeah.
My mental health was actually physically through my body.
Yeah.
And I think it's really hard for me when I'm injured or something and I'm not allowed to use my body that way. My mental health.
Do you think that we all do that innately in some ways, that our body just does, because getting into action? Like, I didn't realize I did so much gardening and spent so much time outside, making things beautiful or trimming stuff up, or I would go and do, spend 3 hours with a leaf blower, making it perfect. But it was also working. But it's grounding. It was grounding me. It was helping me displace energy that I needed to.
And you were taking some form of action that you knew was beneficial.
Yeah.
I think that's why all of a sudden you're starting to clean the closets, or you're starting to clean pantries.
Yes.
You're needing to create some kind of organization. Your mind may be chaotic, but you're trying to instill some kind of
Create
order
some kind
to
of
it.
order. Yes.
So I think hopefully what you're not doing is binge watching porn, or binge video gaming, or binge watching television, or binge
just
drinking,
surfing the internet,
or
and
binge
being,
drinking, or
keyboard
warrior. So I found something really funny that I have to share as a key. So you know how we're always joking about how angry everybody is
Yes.
in comments and stuff, and like, how does that happen? There was this, which I thought was hilarious, and I'm going to read it now because I think this is so funny. So this woman writes that she'll do these weird jobs for money, and they're not very expensive, but like, and this is the wrong way of saying this. But you know how it's like, oh, you could hire a hitman for $50,000 to kill someone.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of energy. What she does is she takes $5 per month, and she will write on your ex's LinkedIn page every time he posts something. That's a terrible idea.
Oh
And
my
then it
gosh,
says,
that's
do you
so
have an
funny.
annoying boss or pretentious coworker? For the low price of $5 a month, I'll comment on their LinkedIn. That's a stupid idea every time they post something. For a small fee, I will also show up pregnant at your ex's wife and yell, stop the wedding. If you pay me $50, I'll show up to your funeral, stand really far away, holding a black umbrella regardless of the weather, so people think you died with a dark and interesting secret.
I love it.
For $5, I will write yikes under your ex's selfies.
Ew. The green puking face emoji. Hey, that could be actually a good business.
So I was like, oh, hey, I thought people were doing it like just angry. No, they're doing it for money. Did you know this was? You've got some biting remarks. You
does,
could make a
yes.
little bit of money.
Yes, I could.
And you might have fun.
I do.
'Cause I think sometimes it's like, and I have this like where you know you want to say something really snide, but you're like, I'm not going to say, but I have to tell someone.
Yes.
So
Yes.
isn't this hilarious? Aren't I so
Yes.
funny?
I'm like, man, that's good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
I can't just let that one die in the
And
night.
I like, but so I think sometimes it just pops in there. So it's my brain thinking, and I'm like, oh, this is too good not to share.
Right.
I don't know. I think maybe my brain thinks that way, sarcastically, and maybe that's a trigger response, a trauma response to say
definitely.
make comedy out of something that hurts you.
It's a tragedy.
So
Absolutely.
it hurt my feelings, so I'm going to just turn this into, and I'm going to use sarcasm. So
Yes.
that's probably the truth of it is. But I think that we could be in much healthier relationships if we took the time to self-analyze and self-reflect.
Yeah. I think you had a very good question about how many people are living shallow. How many people are honestly telling the truth all the time to themselves and then to their partners?
I don't think I think that authentic is maybe a better word.
Yeah.
Living authentically inside of your marriage, your relationship. Because we all have parts. You know, even after, 17 years, there's parts that Chris doesn't know about me, and there's parts that I don't know about him. But I don't.
Or because they've changed the way your relationship, hopefully you're
Yeah.
changing so
Yes.
that, yeah, that part didn't bother you, but now you're going through something else, so the part shows up.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I think there's also that. Or I thought I kind of got that under wraps, but here it is rearing its ugly head. And it's like, yeah, well, it's an onion that you keep on peeling.
Yeah.
Just like Jen said, and I have not forgotten this, Jen.
The garlic cloves.
No, when she said you always just have to keep forgiving. Forgiveness is a practice.
Yes.
And it's like, oh man.
And laying
Do
resentments
you know how long
down.
it took me to get to this first
And-
forgiveness?
And laying resentments down,
Yes.
laying anger down, because resentments, they boil forever. Like, I don't like the way my wife does the dishes or do this or, my pet peeve is she does. Let it freaking go, man.
So I
Don't
will say to
let
you,
somebody steal your joy.
anytime someone's married over 20 years, I go, how often do you fight about the dishwasher? And they'll go, every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny how we have these one things, and it's always the same thing. She should be just glad that I'm doing it, not that I'm doing it right. We get into the,
See,
and
yeah.
it's, so there's some things that are so universal, we should laugh at them.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm the smartest person, but I don't know how to load a dishwasher.
So one of my biggest pet peeves is so in our bedroom, you can look through and see our bathtub, and it's in front of that big window. You can see our bathtub, and I love waking up. It's the reason why I don't like dishes in the sink. I like to have clean space. I like to open my eyes, and I like to see, I like to look and see the sun coming up, and I see the bathtub. Well, Chris forever takes all of his he takes all of his clothes off and leaves them over the thing. So I'm like, immediately when my eyes hit, that's the first thing I see, and I'm like, I don't fuss about it anymore. I've let it go. It doesn't make me angry anymore. It's just and then I go and move them.
Yeah.
And there's never a conversation. I don't have any anger, but you're surprised about how those little things that annoy you like that, how many people in relationships allow stuff like that to eat away at their relationship?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Bickering and picking and
You know what I think is funny, and I saw someone do this the other day, and they said, I used to do this with my ex-wife, and now my new girlfriend is Latina, and I can't do this. But he was telling her to do what she was already doing, and she smashed him with her shoe. And she did a lot of swearing, what do you see me doing it? Yeah. But one of the things that I think is so funny is when people can you make me a sandwich? Sure. We've been together 35 years. I know how you make your sandwiches, or tell me how to make your coffee. It's one thing if every day you have a different coffee or you get a different thing. But if you've been drinking the same coffee for 35, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
Right. How to do your coffee.
I know exactly how much cream.
But the part of that is we want someone else to do something for us, but we also want them to do it the exact same way that we would do it.
Yes.
Instead of saying, I'm so grateful that they're getting my coffee, or I'm so grateful that they're making a sandwich, and I'm gonna receive it as a gift. It's hold your pinky up when you're holding the knife. Don't do it that way. Don't do and you can rob the joy away from somebody trying to do nice things for you too if you're always trying to be on top of them about how to do it. And we were over my in-laws, and I was telling him he was making quesadillas for my nephews, and he was using gluten-free
wraps,
tortillas. And I said, if I were you, I would use one and fold it. Or maybe I said, no, I would use two. I forget what I said at the time. It doesn't matter. But you could tell he was like, I make quesadillas all the time. I don't need you telling me how to make quesadillas. But he's never made them with gluten-free flour. And then the whole thing just turned into a disaster. He goes, oh, maybe that's why you were saying that? And I'm like, because I don't speak openly when you're cooking food. I don't tell you how to cook food because I don't like to be told how to cook food when I'm cooking food.
Yeah.
I don't need you telling me what to do over there, chef.
Right.
Right. So it's a pet peeve of mine. So I don't do it to other people because it's a pet peeve of mine.
Right.
So the fact that I said that, but he was thinking the same thing. I'm making quesadillas my whole life. I'm 65 years old. I don't need you telling me how to make quesadillas.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, because they're gluten-free quesadilla flour tortillas.
Oh, I actually miss quesadillas. I was a picky eater. We'll be back.
You're listening to Lisa and Robyn on the mic on WSMN, 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch us on WSMN.live. We're going to go to the top of the hour, and then we're going to hear all about your quesadillas when we come back.
Yes.